Flipnotes was a thing back on the Nintendo DSi, the internet variant of the DS. It was kind of like a... You can just go look it up, figure it out yourself. It still exists today, essentially, on different websites. This one, for instance, you can still browse Flipnotes that people upload from their DSi.
Oh boy, it's time to go trick-or-treating.
DSi microphone is phenomenal. That sounds nothing like Amy Rose. As cool as it is that it's still a thing, I'd rather, instead of making little cartoons on a screen this big, I'd rather make it on a screen this big. There were a few limitations with Flipnotes that we're gonna hold ourselves to here. First off, only like 4 colors, which you could do solid lines with. This is a bajillion times easier than doing this on a DSi. That would have taken me 3 hours using the individual pixels on a DS screen. But for different shades of blue and red, you would get these like dotted grid patterns that you could fill stuff with. So I printed out this piece here. It's just kind of like a screen, and it kind of gives the same effect, I think. Good thing that worked. I was about to cancel this project if it didn't. You get like 1 undo, which is why I'm using permanent markers, and you are allowed to drink Pepsi while you make Flipnotes. Prerequisite, sort your pile of paper in alphabetical order before you start this project. You're gonna thank me later. Now, what a lot of times you do with Flipnotes, just go on the internet, take audio from someone else's video or like a cartoon. You just make visual animations for that audio. So we're gonna steal someone's video here. It's Channel Patter. He's a rat. Rouge in the thumbnail. Clickbait, son of a gun. But he's got a YTP. We're just gonna steal like audio from that and animate that. Shadow Rations. Wow, sounds exciting. Does he join the military?
I found you, Shaker. Head to head time. I have a date with a mom.
That's it, right? That's the perfect audio, and we need that. You just like type in YouTube downloader. Normally there's something available. That's the audio we have to work with. Gonna let the creative juices flow. You can let creative juices flow on YouTube. First couple seconds.
I found you, Shaker.
So we're gonna need a few things here. Opening scene, Sonic, Shadow, Shaker. One thing you can do with Flipnotes. So get a character done. And it's almost a little bit like sprite work, the way that you could do things on Flipnotes. You could take a character, cut them out, and between sprites you could pan them across the screen. And I think, I might be making all this up, I can't even remember, it's been a long time. And I'm keeping his eyes and mouth blank. And it gets to be messy. Everyone on here is an amateur. I'm just saying that to cover myself. We want a few different mouths that we can animate as he's moving. Those are mouths, even though they may not look like it. Honestly, doing it this way, and I've never done a paper animation in my life, feels like it will be faster than how fast it would have been if I actually used Flipnotes. He could be like, or maybe that's better, like, oh. Hey guys, Future Peter with his head coming out of a Monster Energy drink here. I've noticed this entire camera angle, this top-down one, gets blurry once in a while. Special thanks to Canon, the camera company, for doing that. There's nothing I can do, and that's the one that I get the frames for the final animation, so some of that's just going to be a little bit blurry. And while it's unintentional and not my fault, it's an intentional, artistic, purposeful thing because Flipnotes are really low resolution, so every person will be satisfied with that answer. I feel like I just drank the contents of your stomach. Got the Sonic sprite, we need a Shadow sprite, where he's like back here facing forward. It's a matter of perspective. He's gonna turn into a Salt Shaker because that's really unfunny to the majority of the population, but to Flipnote users, anything is funny if it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna give him butt cheeks. I know I'm using the thick end of the marker to draw thicker lines, and that wasn't something you could do in the original Flipnotes, but in the words of me, shut up and eat poop. So he was gonna be kind of right here, and Sonic was gonna kind of be right here. Palm tree, a bit of a horizon, and a loop-de-loop, that of which the perspective on I have completely messed up. We begin the stop-motion animation process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so those are the frames. And then what you do is you take your little stylus and you hit this button here. Click!
I found you, Shaker.
Scene 2. I love the mashing and the peeking. Next scene, what does he say?
Head to bed and die.
Head to bed and die. So we're gonna want another shadow sprite, and this is going to be a cut to his face. What do they call that when the shot like it's facing one person, and then when the other person talks, it faces the other one. I want to say it's something like movie juice. You're gonna notice my style change quite a bit from frame to frame. That's all I have to say. It's literally just something I want to point out because I suck. I think he has red on his arm somewhere. We're gonna have slightly more detailed mouth frames for this one. Good enough. You really only need 5. I've always said this if you've watched a channel for a long time. Mouths only really move 5 different ways to make sounds. You ever heard of the 5 vowels? Yeah, you're starting to take me a little more seriously now, aren't you? What? A YouTuber who's heard of vowels. And you're just immediately donating $1,000 a month through Patreon. Oh, we also need a sprite of a bed because the audio is not especially clear what he's saying, so we have to help the audience a little bit by making a bed. Because you could do captions and stuff, but, well, just to be honest, most people who liked Flipnotes couldn't read. Let me use my cool little tool here, just because I think it's cool, not because it works great. And we're gonna want one other sprite to animate his face so that he's just a little more angry when he says die. Because death is an angry thing that you say when you're mad. So we want it to kind of be like, instead of him saying die, how Keanu Reeves would say it, we'd want it more like like SpongeBob would say it, I guess. So we're gonna take our sprite, we're gonna overlay it so we can see the background. We're just gonna make it more angry, like that. And we actually wanna cut this one out kind of delicately and intentionally. Doing things delicately and intentionally is normally a no-no on this channel, but I'm approaching 40, I might as well try once in a while. Not gonna do a background for this one, because I literally think the return of the Pepsi. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We might use this reverse shot again, or this sprite. That's what it is, shot, reverse shot, right? Me when my friend reverse shoots my other friend reverse with a gun. Shot, shot, reverse would have been. Oh, you know what? We're gonna lab that one out, we'll come back to it.
I have a date.
Okay, he just kind of runs over at that point. So, we're going back to shot 1, and Sonic's gonna book it off screen and go, it's fine. Right, I'm working on the Sonic movie 3. I'm the sound effect designer. Instead of just, he's standing here, and then he starts running, you do the classic little build-up. Because if you build up your run, I don't know if you've ever done this when you're 5, if you like, that's what I sounded like when I was 5. You get like more oomph, more speed. I've messed it up already. Ruined my iPhone charger. Starting to remember that art's not easy. There's also a little bit of a throwback. Many of you guys will know this is the burger dance wind-up pose, known in the community. If you want the context for that, Google Sonic Poop Rise of Toilet. I'm not gonna act like I'm anything too special in this industry, considering this is my first animation. The famous YouTube animators haven't quite given me that Facebook follow yet, but I'm kind of starting to feel like the Looney Tunes of YouTube. So that's his wind-up, and now we need what it looks like when he's actually moving. Why'd I sound like I doesn't even think once? It's gonna be one of those cartoon frames that like plays so quick and looks so stretched, but it won't matter because it's moving so quickly, which is kind of a theme for Sonic. Some artists' best work are hidden amongst those speedy frames. I just love adding this red. It's just a nice little, just enough of an accent, you know? Gives it enough detail, takes 5 seconds. A lazy man's hard work, as they say. And now we need Sonic up close. We're gonna make him, because he slides into frame and he goes like, because his feet are made of SpongeBob. So we're gonna have him doing like a funny face, like something that would have been funny to people in like 2008, which is really unfunny. So I should say an unfunny face. Old meme face. Something like this, but like happier. Oh, smooth moves. Put that in the video. Clip that. And his expression unchanging. Shadow's completely unchanging sprite is actually a tribute more to his character and sort of development in that department. Animated development of character, showing his stoic steel-headedness. Because anyone else would have been like, Sonic zooms up. What? Why is there blue paint on my screen? Oh, this is good. Blue paint on a laptop screen. Actually a really good material to clean it with. And it's dried on there a little bit. Now I'm using water to clean a screen, which is a bad idea, and I'm obviously stupid for having gotten blue paint on it in general, probably when I was doing all those cool little flippy moves. But a weaker man wouldn't have shown you that at all. I may be stupid, but I'm very strong. They say I'm a lot like my favorite Sonic character, Tails.
I have a date with a mom.
He has a date with a mom. Now, mind you, there's nothing wrong with having a date with a mom. Sometimes moms need love too. In fact, it's a very caring and nice thing to do if you're in the position to do so. There's just gonna be a close-up on Sonic's face since he's talking. The horizon's gonna be a little lower to signify it's a little closer. Pine tree will be a little bit bigger to signify that it's bigger. A really terrible looking pine tree, but the fizzy color, fizzy sky. What's that medication? Sky Fizzy?
Sky Rizzy.
Now that's funny. If I had a friend named Rizzy, they would never hear the end of that. And there are people named Rizzy. And he's very proud about going on this date with the mom. So he's gonna have his hands on his hips, you know, belly sticking out. Ooh, these marker fumes are getting to me. We're gonna do some eye sprite work as well. Eye sprite with my little kite. Something like that. A little trimming. If you throw around scissors more when you're using them, it's actually safer because it means you're better at using them. Disavow that. Something like that. And the reason we're animating his eyes is because when he says mom, he's gonna look stupider when he's saying it. Because I know it's stupid. But that's fine, because Flipnotes were stupid. And that's why we loved them. And they were funny to 10-year-olds because we were 10. And basically, if I'm not funny ever again, it's perfectly acceptable. I should just always do videos about eras where humor hadn't aged very well. And then everyone will be like, of course he's not funny. It's supposed to be that way. Can I quit dropping everything? Animation time. 1, 2, 3, 21. And you can repeat 21. 21! Again, it's not supposed to be funny. This is based off things that aren't funny. I didn't even do the background. I don't care. It took too long to make this. Okay, next line. Just a lot of violence, which is awesome. So we're gonna get rid of this. Sonic getting beat up is going to be moving very fast, so it doesn't have to be as detailed as the other ones. Looking distraught and hurt. That's like a head sprite. This will be the body sprite. So now as he's here getting beat up, we can switch the head out. We can flip the body around. Keep in mind, I invented these methods. My name is Peter, Animator, and you may know me from such animated classics as the Sonic sitcom made in Kid Pics, that Nickelodeon Movie Maker animation of The Office. And anytime I see animation content, I'm just like, yep, that's what I would have done. See, that's the method there. And then we want Shadow angrily beating him up. Now actually, we don't want his legs, so cut his legs off. Oh, man, oh. I'm also voicing Shadow in the upcoming Sonic movie, that is correct. And then we're gonna have his hands and fists be different parts, different things that we'll be beating Sonic up with. And we need a couple biffs. This is what we call a biff. It's like an impact. I am absolutely going to cut my hand one of these days. And I am absolutely not going to change anything based on that knowledge. We'll do one impact there, and we're just essentially going to generate a few violent frames here. Pow, pow, poof, poof, poof. We're just kind of going to use those same frames, kind of like real-life violence. It's kind of the same techniques. You're using the same emotional tactics over and over, and nothing changes. You get angry, so you start to lash out. You start to be like, why isn't anything changing? Why do I just get more angry? Because you're not adapting, you're not changing, you're not doing a new frame. You're not switching to this frame, calm, stoic. There's a lot to be learned emotionally with animation. Like, that learned isn't a word. I just learned you that. So after the violence, he kicks Silver, for some reason, who then starts to have a seizure on the ground. We're gonna switch to a different animation style for this. We've been doing a certain method this whole time. Now all of a sudden we're switching it up. That switch up, just gonna animate like frame by frame each of that. We're gonna try and copy it down here. Okay, this is really distracting. I want that shirt so bad. I've never even taken Benadryl in my life. So that's Shadow kicking Silver, and essentially, put this one under here, put this one on top so you can kind of see through, and then we're gonna play like one frame where he's like kicking him, but we're gonna use this as a continual reference. 2, 3, and then for 4, we're gonna take some of the sprite work and just move it down. 4, 5, we're gonna keep Shadow, again, here, stoic and unmoving. Frame, couple of frames to work with, and then...
I'm taking the train. See ya!
Now I like that. That's how we're gonna end it. He's taking the train. Sonic taking the train. This is gonna look like trash, isn't it? So I gotta draw a train. People, some of you watching this channel have been waiting for me to draw a train for like 15 years. I will make it so good for you. Some people are just so excited right now, especially these rivets. People love rivets on a train. Got this huge smoke pipe. This is where the steam comes out. Trains, steam trains anyway, essentially are powered by steam that comes through these pistons down here. These pistons drive these long arms that are placed so perfectly to create a rotating motion on the wheels of the train. I know a lot of you Sonic fans out there are train lovers, so you're very welcome for this segment. Whoops. Hey, buddy. Oh. Hey. Oh. Hey. You took a nasty fall there. There are better places to make a dirty diaper than on the ground. Ugh. Okay, and now I'll just animate it in post, and we'll cut to the finished thing. Now I'm going to do this cool little thing that we do here. Wow, what a segue. I hope I don't put me here to interrupt that segue.
I found you, Shater. Head to head and dive. I have a date with a mom. Well, I'm taking the train. See ya.
Hi, I'm Peter Knetter, the creator of that film that you just watched. I'm sure a lot of you didn't know that it's pronounced Knetter, not Netter. And I don't care how you pronounce it. Some of my legacy on YouTube is just based on people remembering the weirdness of my name. So however you remember it is how it is, and that's your truth. Hope was the animation any good? Leave you with some wise words for you aspiring animators out here. Don't try to do it well. You might do it well, but if you try to do it well, then when you don't, you get sad, or at least this is maybe specifically for me. What's some kind of a topic that I can use to get people to check out my Patreon and really like guilt trip people, pull on the heartstrings? I didn't even use AI markers for this. Join, I'm such a starving art boy. Starving for a fart boy. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one when we play Brats for the Leapster. And don't forget what I always say, 5